Hello travelers, this is going to be your open reading Wednesday, open reading number 2. I can't talk. I'm actually recording this on Tuesday, January 15th. I'm going to be busy all day tomorrow, so I'm recording this a day in advance, and you guys will still get the opportunity to see it. If you have not signed up for my newsletter, you really should sign up for the free newsletter. You can click on the I over here. That'll take you over to my website, and you can sign up for the free newsletter. If you haven't joined, you should consider joining because you get great membership benefits. You also get a chance to earn yourself free memberships and also free readings through the referral program. There is astrology. There is hoodoo and conjure work articles. There are, I want to say 2 more videos, galleries that I have there. There's loads and loads and loads of information on the site. There are 3 membership levels. Again, you can click on the I and that'll take you directly over to the website. You can read about it. So with that being said, I've already done some meditation with the cards. And so we're going to be using the Radiant White deck. I want to put another good shuffle on those. We will be clarifying with La Vida Sibila. We will also be pulling perhaps a few playing cards. And we will wrap the reading up with either an angel answer and or a romance angel card. Depends on what the messages are. For those of you who haven't signed up for the newsletter, the romance and relationship readings on the website are already up. They are elementals, but they were some really, really interesting readings. I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to get people to come over. There were some really interesting readings. So those are posted for you, and hopefully after this weekend, I will be able to, get back to normal, and I'll start working on the February. Can you believe February 2019 is already here? Both the 24 videos for February for the website. Something I was going to say. Oh yeah, the newsletter is where I announce specials, and the website members always get that information first, or those who sign up for the newsletter. They always get that information first. I don't always announce it. I do it through a newsletter. So, okay. You can follow me on Twitter, on Tumblr, and on LinkedIn. And let's just lay 9 cards. This is a general reading. It is not for any specific sign. In order to gain any insight into your situation, requires a personal reading. I have several levels of personal readings that you can purchase should you so desire. And so we're just going to, let me turn that magician was upside down. We're just going to open these cards and see what reading there is. Website members, if you haven't opened up, or please add my email address, my website, and whenever you get mailers from me, add that address and my email address to your contacts, because sometimes people purchase readings and then they'll email me back 3 or 4 days later saying they never got it, and that's not true. Typically it will go to your spam folder. So if you put me in your contacts, it will always come into your inbox. Okay, particularly if you're using Yahoo or Hotmail. Google doesn't like that. They will, their servers battle each other, and they'll just put crap into your spam folder. So always check that first. If you purchase a reading from me, or you're waiting to hear an email back from me, check your spam folder first. Okay, because I don't like to make people wait for readings, and I try to answer people back within 48 hours is the longest out. So that being said, let's lay these cards. The Emperor has come out. Wow, the 5 of Swords. the Knight of Swords. the Knight of Wands. Holy smokes. The Nine of Swords. The Chariot. Wow, the Seven of Swords. The Three of Wands. And isn't this odd? The Nine of Cups. Well, I can tell you off the bat, this is some damn confusion. Okay? Wow. All right. And over the top of the reading is the Devil card. Now, most people see that there are three dreaded cards in the tarot, major arcana. That's the Devil, the Tower, and the Death card. Do know that these cards represent the idea of spiritual challenges. That's what I'm trying to say. I was trying to get it all together. Now, the Devil card represents the planet of Saturn. Okay. Now, Saturn is known as the taskmaster. He can be a real son of a bitch because he makes things difficult. He makes things hard. It takes a long time for you to work through a Saturn energy. It is never pleasant. It can tax you to the point of breaking. He represents obstacles, delays, limitations, constrictions. He is never a no, Saturn. He is always a not yet. Now, the reason why he's called the taskmaster is because he's giving you those hard lessons in life, no matter what area you encounter Saturn, to see how bad do you want to work through this, right? If it's something that you want, if it's something that you desire, what are you willing to chain yourself to? Okay? How are you willing to chain yourself to it? Are you chaining yourself to something that really isn't any good for you? Or are you chaining yourself to something that even though it's the hardest thing in your life, in the end it's going to be worth it? Saturn is about rolling up your sleeves and dealing with the truth of the situation and then determining what does it take for me to get through this particular situation. If you look at that card, you see those two figures at the base. Those chains are around their necks very loosely. So this is the idea that sometimes we chain ourselves to something, okay, and we can get away. We can always change it. They can slip off those bonds. Those chains are not on very loosely. Now, there are three people per se in this reading, or this could be about three people. The reason why I say that is I have these three figures in the Devil card. I have three people in the Five of Wands, and I have this idea of, again, three figures. There's a person and then the two sphinxes. I have two court cards, and then I've got this Three of Wands. Okay? So if nothing else, this tells me that perhaps there are lots of people involved, at least three at a minimum. For some of you, this may be an argument about your father or an argument with your father. It may be an argument dealing with your baby daddy. Okay? The Emperor can be someone who has great status, influence, and authority. They're more than a king, at least in my book. And they are neither a well-balanced emperor, is neither overly emotional or overly logical. He didn't become the emperor by giving away every damn thing, but he also didn't become the emperor by being afraid to put the smack down on people either, should he need to. Now, sometimes that emperor can be a very difficult energy. This can be somebody that you're dealing with that it is my way and or the highway. Okay? And no matter what you say or what you do or how you appeal to that person, they're not usually willing to budge. All right? Now, I feel for some of you that something has come back around. It's like a karmic thing, something you're trying to finish. The devil can represent sometimes karmic issues. As a person, if the devil shows up as a person, this could be the idea that this individual that you're dealing with likes to wield power and control, but they do it in a way that makes you feel fearful, like you can't get away from them, like it's never going to end, that kind of a thing. But that's a perception. That's why I have all of these swords here. Now, I feel for some of you, it's not only a situation in which it has come back around. This is literally somebody who has come back around. Okay? But you can't figure out why they're back. There's no clarity on why this person is back. I think they're telling you one thing and they're doing another. We see that all of this energy is faced in a direction towards the past. Now, typically, 2 knights when they show up represent a slight concern in regards to a new romance, partnership, and or relationship. So this could be romance, it could be business, it could be friend, it could be family. Remember, he typically he's known as the father of the tarot. If he's not your daddy, and he's not your baby daddy, then this could be a boss that you're dealing with. Okay? And we see there's been an argument or a fight. There's some news that has come in that's created this argument and this fight. Okay? With this guy. That's how this energy is reading to me. Now, the Knight of Swords is quick, fast-moving energy. So this could be something that came through a text message or came through an email. Maybe it came through a letter, but I doubt it. It's a quick, fast-moving energy. And there was a lot of passion about it. Typically, this guy, this Knight of Wands will be somebody who shows up really quickly, but just as quickly as they show up is just as quickly as they leave. And this tells me that before, this person has been there and then they left. Maybe they left without saying anything. Maybe they didn't tell you anything, or maybe what they told you was suspect and kind of spurious. Sometimes this 7 of Swords can be the idea of mental games, people playing games with you, head games. This could be about lies, gossiping, stalking, delving into things that are none of their business. It's about doing something that's a little suspect, but doing it out in the open, but yet not having the capacity to understand if what is actually happening is real or the motivation behind it. These are swords. Swords always represent the idea of thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, ideas, and communications. For me, the knights always represent events. Okay? And what this tells me is that messages have come in. One that was a very angry message. This Knight of Swords has an element of truth. The Knight of Swords comes, and when he comes with the truth. But the truth ain't always so damn pleasant. Okay? And whatever this message was, there was a lot of anger behind it. There perhaps were accusations of lies and deception and cheating. I don't know which way these messages, where they're coming from. But the message arrived, and this created a big old fight. Okay? Now, right in the center, I have the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords is a card of worry. It is a card of anxiety. It can be a card of fear, sleepless nights. I don't know if there's been an accident. Okay? Because sometimes these two cards together, I've seen this where there may have been like a vehicle accident or a car accident or something. And you're waiting to find out if the person is going to recover and if everything's going to be okay. The other message is that whatever this fight is all about, this great worry and great fear, you're being tasked to gain that emotional control that you need. As well as for this Emperor, he's trying to do the same thing, because there's something not right about the either communication process or the information that's being put forth. Sometimes this card can show up as a home move. That's a very old, antiquated kind of a thing. We see that there's some kind of move. Somebody thinks they got to move. They're not sure if they got to move, but they're taking their time doing it. Why? Because they don't understand what's going on. I do feel that there was a separation here, or if not a separation, that you are not in the same physical location. You may not even be in the same city and or state. Another thing about the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Swords is sometimes the card of accepting behaviors or things from people, thinking that, you know, it's going to the ends will justify the means. You know, you accept it, whatever they're saying to you or whatever they're doing. You're not really saying anything about it, but you're hoping that the ends are going to justify the means. It can also mean that you're carrying a heavy burden. It can mean that you are taking flight away from whatever your responsibilities are. Okay. To me, this row here tells me that something happened and somebody was really freaked out about it and they got the hell out of town. The riffraff. But now somebody's they're not sure about moving forward with something. Do I keep going this way or do I go this way? I'm not quite sure. Those two swords are at rest. That's like the Two of Swords, the card with the woman sitting on the bench and the two swords and the blindfold. Is somebody lying to me or am I lying to myself? The odd thing is that this Nine of Cups has come out at the very, very end. Now, the Nine of Cups is known as the wish card, but this could be a situation in which be careful what you wish for, kind of a thing. Two nines speak to one of you needs to spend more time alone. Two nines also speak to, let's see, let me make sure that I got this right. Let me get into the swords because this is a lot of swords. So this really is, it looks like something that culminated very quickly, happened very rapidly. I don't think it was unexpected, so to speak, the reaction. I think the vehemence or the anger behind it, the power and the passion behind it is what is perhaps most upsetting. Let me look at this two nines here. The Nine of Swords, it's right in the center. So this is either his energy, maybe, you know, this is kind of what's throwing me. I'm not going to lie to you. The Emperor with the Nine of Swords with the Cup card. Now, sometimes this person can show up like a judge or a police officer or a soldier. So this could be like a legal issue. May have to do with maybe 501c organizations or somebody who is in the role of leader or coach or counselor. Let me take a look at this the number of nines because I want to get this right for you. Two nines suggest a house move and or a change of address. Remember I said that. And here with this Cancer card is this Cancer represents the home. Okay, security and nurturing, but you know, it takes a lot to maintain that. All right. The other meaning of the two nines, and I just want to make sure I got this right, is one of you needs to spend time alone. There it is. This could be a property issue. Maybe this is a breakup and a split up, a sudden divorce, or somebody sends me, I don't want to be with you no more. Whether it's you or this Emperor. And now there's this whole issue of dividing up property, right? And why do I bring up property with the Devil card? Because when you marry somebody or you common law or whatever the case is, if you got bills that you pay, credit cards, joint bank accounts, you're bound to each other by those things. The Devil represents the physical plane. So this is about food, money, property, clothes, sex, cars, all of those things that represent those third dimensional things that we can sometimes bind ourselves to, or things that we have to do in order to function on this plane. Now, I have 2 sevens. The Chariot is a 7, and we have the 7 of Swords. 2 sevens can speak to self-confidence issues, may cause instability in the relationship. That's because somebody is trying to lord power over you, perhaps. The other meaning of 2 sevens is, let me get it right now because I don't want to give it to you wrong. Warning of false friends. Well, as I said, there's people here, and this could be the idea that somebody that you guys know, remember I said, been gossiping, some message came in from somebody. This could be like your baby daddy or your boss been saying some shit about you behind your back. Has to do with the home and movement and travel in some way. I stand by that. So I can't look at these 2 court cards now. Here, these are 2 different types of messages, and what I was saying about the Knights is most people who read cards will only interpret these as messages. To me, these are events. This is why I say somebody came back around, and they came around very angry and very upset and saying some very ugly things. Okay, like they're trying to ruin your reputation in some way, and there has been a fight. The reason why these events occur, it's through some kind of message or news or communication. Okay, something being brought to you or something being brought to your attention, and that message, whatever it is, sets something in motion. So that's why the Knights always read to me like events. They don't read like just news. Okay, so let's go here to the 5 of Swords and see if it means anything next to this Emperor and or this Chariot card. The 5 of Swords can be that idea of sometimes you got to say stuff to people to hurt their feelings, to get you to leave them alone, but sometimes you say shit just to win. Okay, and the question becomes, what are you really fighting for? And are you doing it to control people yourself? Right? This says the 5 of Swords. Now, it's not next to the Devil. Okay, but it is actually, it's kind of here. It speaks to careless spending, unwise investments, and financial hardships and distress. I don't see any coins here, but this itself represents the physical domain. Now, there's no 4 of Swords here. And it doesn't say anything else about these other ones. So now I can't look at these 2 court cards. So now I'm going to go to this 9 of Swords here. You know, that card, let me go back because there was something that I mentioned. There's not a 4 of Swords here per se. This tells me that's a 6 of Swords. So yeah, there's been a separation. This is an 8 of Swords. That's a 10, 11, 12. And a 2 of Swords. Sometimes it's not what is here, it's what is not here. Okay, that's a 10. Hold on. But I want to go back and read something about this 5 of Swords because it's kind of mentioning something. It's between the 8 and the 9 of Swords. The reason why, the 4 of Swords, the reason why I'm bringing this up, even though there's no 4 of Swords here. Remember I said it might be some accident. You get news of an accident. It says, when the 5 of Swords appears with the 4 and the 9, it may be a health warning. If you have been feeling unwell of late, take time to find out why, then rectify the problem. Otherwise, the condition may exacerbate rapidly. It is a distinct message that health issues need to be addressed promptly. That could be this. Maybe your dad is ill. Maybe you got some news or some message that he fell sick or he fell ill. And, you know, it worried the crap out of you. What do I do about that? Do I go to see him? What do I do? If that's the case, this tells me that everything is going to work out okay. Maybe you don't find that out until you get home. You rush home. Sometimes I've seen these 2 cards, Knights and the Chariot, show up when it's like you got to get there really, really fast. You send word, I'm on my way. Okay? And you're trying to just hold it together until you can get there. Now, let's look at this 9 of Swords. Nothing about the 9 of Swords. 7 of Swords. This is either a lot of arguments and fights, or it's some news that's not pleasant. It's been very worrisome. Now, 7 of Swords next to the 9 of Cups. It is informing you that your wants and desires will come to fruition, but not necessarily as you expect. And that's why you're so worried. Maybe you had an argument with somebody over something, and now that argument is worrying that, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to move forward with my plans. Well, that may be true. It doesn't mean, remember, Saturn is never a no, he is a not yet. Three of Wands. And the 9 of Cups, just, you know, the 9 of Cups is just the 9 of Cups. It typically represents the your wishes and dreams coming true. But again, for some of you, this could be the idea. You need to be careful what you wish for. You may be binding yourself or tying yourself up to something that's going to be very, very difficult to get out of. So you want to plan and think this through. 3 of Wands. Because I do feel for some of you, you don't have all of the information. Somebody's, you know, not being that forthcoming with you. And so you need to be very, very careful as you move through this. Nothing about this 3 of Wands. So, I'm trying to determine what cards I want to clarify this with. I'm going to pull Sibila's on this Emperor card to see who this Emperor, maybe it'll tell me who it represents. If I can't get, sometimes the cards don't give me what I want when I ask, okay? I just have to, they know better than I do, so I just have to kind of go with the flow. If I can't get an indication of who this may be, I will pull 3 playing cards, and I'm going to use playing cards over the rest of this. I do feel for some of you that someone is not giving you all of the information that you need to move forward. And so that's why this is the warning of be careful what you wish for. And be careful. If you don't know somebody, if you're dealing with somebody that you don't know well or know at all, be cautious. The il nemico, the enemy. The Donna Maritata. This is an ex-husband, father of the children. And I do sense that there's a bit of jealousy here. Like maybe the person got word that you... Remember I was talking about there's 3 people here? Okay. And this could be the idea that he's jealous, or he's trying to pull rank. There you are, trapped between 2 men. An ex. Somebody who has concealed anger, hatred, and wants revenge. And somebody new on the scene. There you are, stuck in the middle. So that baby daddy thing, that ex that I was talking about, yeah. Okay. The cards are quite clear on this. Now, I want to look at this 7 of Swords. I just get the sense that somebody said something. You know, even if this is your ex, guess what? If you've got kids together, you're bound together. That link is inextricable. It will not break. So you got to figure out how to best balance power. That's what Capricorn is about. It's about the balance of power and not allowing someone to bully you or intimidate you using mind tricks and you know, that kind of thing. 7 of Swords. 3 of Hearts. Remember I said 3 people. 5 of Diamonds. And there's a Queen of Hearts. There you are. That's who she is. There you are. So maybe you done told some lie, and then your baby daddy done found out that you done lied, and he is not happy. Okay. Now, and see, a lot of times this card can be like, you think somebody's doing something, but they're really not. And so maybe you done lied, and you think maybe his thing is overreaction, or you can't understand why it is that the person's behaving the way that they're behaving, or maybe somebody else said something, and now he's like all up in your face and all up in your shit, trying to determine what really is going on. Could be that he don't like for some reason, your new potential person. I'm gonna look at this Knight of Swords, Eight of Spades. That's like an Eight of Swords. Ace of Wands. Remember I talked about how that message was coming through with a lot of anger? That's what that tells me. And there's the 10 of Diamonds. Now, that has to do with property and taxes and financial things. Remember talking about that devil there. So maybe this is some kind of fight over children and property and lovers and new people coming in and moving and this, that, and the other. I don't know. Maybe you want to move to be with somebody new, and your ex or the baby's daddy's like, hell no, you're not taking my kids. That kind of shit. Planes, trains, and automobiles. That's the way you resolve it. I want to look at this Five of Swords. Who are these three people? Six of Swords. Remember, first thing I said, there's a breakup, a separation, or a divorce that just out of the blue. Six of Clubs. And the Nine of Diamonds. So there's definitely financial things here. We have the Five of Diamonds, the 9 and the 10. We have the 6 and the 8 of Spades, the Ace and the 6 of Clubs, and these 2 hearts. Let's go to the meanings. We'll start with the 7, since that is what I started with. Love and happiness when the spread is favorable. This is not that favorable. It doesn't mean that it's horrible and that there's no hope. It's just telling you that it may not turn out the way you plan. So you might want to roll your sleeves up, get real, look at the situation, and then deal with it effectively. Don't run away from it. Okay? 3 of Hearts. It says, in a difficult spread, this can indicate emotional problems and an inability to decide who to love. There's just 2 people. 5 of Diamonds. Happiness and success, a change for the better, a birth, or good news for a child, a time to start new projects. We see that here. And here's this Queen of Hearts. This is says fair-haired woman, or a woman with good nature, or a woman with water predominating her chart. Now, you may not be a Cancer, Scorpio, and or Pisces, but you may have a lot of planets on the water houses, which are the 4th house, the 8th house, and the 12th house. Remember, this person's jealous. We will next look at this trio of cards, the 8 of Spades, Ace of Wands, Ace of Clubs, and the 10 of Diamonds. Now, the 8 of Spades speaks to temptation, misfortune, danger, and upsets. Temptation. Misfortune and upsets. But that's falling on this 5 of Swords. So this can be dangerous arguments. Somebody walking away for a moment. Misfortune and upsets, and we see it right there. Here's the 6 of Wands. The 6 of Clubs. It speaks to small changes and improvements. That's why this card has come out. This is slow going, maintaining your balance, don't getting upset, staying focused and determined to just continue to move forward. With this 9 of Diamonds. A new business deal, travel, restlessness, and a change of residence. Remember I said, this is somebody either you want to move, you have moved, or you're contemplating moving. And that has created a big old fracas. And I wasn't even supposed to read that. I was supposed to be reading this, but I'm going to read that now. The 8 of Spades. That's what I was doing. This speaks to, sorry, let me repeat that. Temptation, misfortune, danger, and upsets. Like I said, we see that here. The Ace of Wands, Clubs. Wealth and prosperity. Unexpected money or gain. But in a difficult spread, the money may disappear almost as quickly as it appears. That's why I'm telling you, be cautious. The 10 of Diamonds, and then I'm going to go back and read this because I gave you the wrong interpretation, and my apologies for that. The 10 of Diamonds, it says a change in financial status, often for the better. We see that here. But I'm telling you, it's not going to go exactly the way that you want it to. There's something about this. Now, let me go back and read these correctly, okay? And that is the 6 of Spades, the 6 of Clubs, with the 9. So the 6 of Spades does say small changes and improvement. With the Clubs, it says financial aid or success. And with the Diamonds, the 9 of Diamonds, it says, yeah, a new business deal, travel, restlessness, and or a change of residence. So that still stands. I do feel that either you wanted to move, maybe you want to move to be where your new lover is, or whatever the case may be, and this dude from the past come back and he like, hell no. And I think, I honestly just get the sense that somebody has said something to him. Okay? They've told him something that makes him very, very, very upset. Now, here I have 2 6s, so let me tell you what the 2. It says 2 6s, marriage enriches. Remember when I was talking about that? So what this tells me is that this guy holds all the financial cards. And he is trying to pull rank. Because there is somebody new and you want to move, go away, maybe take the kids and be with this person. Okay? If you are not interested in having another relationship, then this could be about you wanting to leave and move away because you have a financial opportunity to do so. That's going to make life better for you. Okay? So do know, let me pull quick cards on this 9 of Swords here. The question is, how bad do you really want it? Right? And what are you willing to give up and free yourself from to get what you want? Okay? So you've got a lot of choices and options. I think some of you have already made a plan, but I would beg to differ that you don't have all of the information yet. He's got all the cards, and he's trying to be a real prick about it. Alright, let's take a look. You know, sometimes people will do things or say things or threaten you with things just to make you worry. And if that's the case, he's been successful at doing that. He's got you all in a state. 7 of Hearts. Queen of Diamonds. And the 6 of Diamonds. Now, this is finances. Okay? And even though there are 2 queens here, all right, this can just be the energy of, this may be, you may be a water sign, okay, or have lots of planets on water houses. You could be an earth sign or have lots of planets on earth, but this typically shows up as the businesswoman, okay, or at least somebody who's good at money or making money or starting businesses, things of that nature. Sometimes this guy will show up like an entrepreneur. Cards. Someone whose interest in you is unreliable. Someone with fickle affections for you. This card can also indicate love sickness. Now, on the off chance, remember I keep saying somebody said something. On the off chance that it is this person or this person, there's another snake in the grass. Okay. The Queen of Diamonds typically represents a fair-haired woman, but someone with Earth predominating her chart, but she's also a gossip. Relationship problems, arguments, and a separation. So either you've said something or somebody else has said something. And that's where the fracas has come from. Question is, how hard are you willing to just maintain that shit? Roll up your sleeves, look at the reality of it. What are you going to chain yourself to? What are you going to release yourself from? It's not going to turn out like you want, but you can still get your wish, however that means for you. Now, let's pull, because the thing is, I don't sense that there's any love issue here. I think it's a control issue. Finances, children, property, moving. That's really how it feels. It doesn't feel like it's a love triangle or anything like that. In a way it is, but it's not your quote-unquote traditional love triangle. Okay? Formulate your question. I get the sense that what my guide Steve, he keeps saying somebody is like, they feel as though they got caught or somebody caught you at something, and like that, whatever that thing is, it's like, aha, I knew it all along. That's what I keep hearing. There's something better. What are you willing to do about that? How serious are you about either binding yourself to something or freeing yourself from something? That's the question. And only you can determine. My job is not to tell y'all what to do. My job is to interpret the messages of the cards. We all have free will. And I'm going to, before I close this out, I'm going to read you the Devil card. This card says, heaven has something wonderful in mind for you. However, what have I been telling y'all? It's not going to work out like you think it is, or like you planned. It is not the same thing you have planned. Let me read that again. Heaven has something wonderful in mind for you. However, it is not the same thing you have planned. Ask yourself, what would you rather have? The very thing you are asking for, or something that would make you much happier and more fulfilled? That's Devil card. It can either be the worst thing or the best thing. Sometimes the divine has joys in store for us that we could never imagine on our own. So open your mind and heart to the possibility that you deserve even more than what you're asking for. Trust your angels to guide you in new and exciting directions. Now let me read to you this Devil card meaning and explain to you what I mean by this, because a lot of people get confused when I'm trying to explain to them the Devil card, and I don't want you to be confused. I want you to know exactly all of the ways that this can play out for you and what it actually means. The key words of the Devil tied to a situation: discontent, anger, resentment, helplessness, depression, materialism, self-indulgence, obsession, illness, material success, compulsions, temptations, fear and delusion, lust, repression, violence, force, failure, disaster, death, ominous events, lies, slavery, and bondage. So let's read the meaning of the card. The devil indicates one who may be overly involved or overly concerned about the material aspects of life. In other words, all they care about is money and looking good and all that stuff. The devil appearing in a reading asks that you listen to your higher self. The inner voice of wisdom should not be ignored. Learn to respond to your spiritual needs. It may be telling you that you are off course in your journey. Take stock of where you are now in life, and if you are not satisfied, then make the appropriate changes. Recognize what is happening around you and make amends. The devil foretells that something looms, something unavoidable, and although it may alarm us initially, it will prove to turn out just fine. There's that 9 of... It may be indicating that you have overindulged in some ways. This will lead to misery. It may be implying that a negative situation was brought about by clouded judgment on your behalf, and you must now endure the consequences. It tells of mounting pressure brought about by selfishness and a lack of consideration. It may signify a feeling of stagnation and hopelessness. Self-motivation is needed, so listen to your inner voice and make the changes needed to unchain or unbind yourself from a negative situation. It tells of a release of feelings from entrapment. Laughter re-enters your life. It may also be indicating sound management of personal and business finances, and tells that limitations can be overcome with strength and discipline sooner than anticipated. It may suggest that feelings of helplessness can be defeated, and there may be solutions to the situation that have not yet been explored. The devil tells of long-term goals being reached with perseverance and bringing the desired rewards. It brings in freedom with a new lease on life. It suggests self-indulgence, which can lead to obsession and allows oneself to be tied into a situation. It suggests that someone who desires power may use this power for negative, selfish gains. But also you can be doing that too. It may indicate great stubbornness and materialism. It tells you that it is never too late to make amends. Deal with your problems and avoid emotional outbursts. There's that Knight of Wands. It asks that you will remain aware of the temptations around you so that the chains do not bind you. It tells of the wrong use of forces and powers and of being too attached to the material aspects of life. It may be referring to feelings of being stagnant, bogged down, and hopeless, all due to your own efforts or lack thereof. It warns of indulgences of all kinds and warns of misuse and abuse. It can be telling you of the beginning of the first steps towards spiritual understanding, so you are asked to listen to your inner voice and intuition. It signifies that you should reflect on the situation, ask others for advice, and work towards solving difficulties. Do not run away from whatever this is. Yes, there is something better, but again, the question becomes, what is it and how do you go about getting it? And what do you need to free yourself from? That's what I have for you. I hope this message helped. Until next time, again, if you'd like a reading, come on over, click that I, and that'll take you directly over to my website. So until next time, Namaste.